Okay. All right. Good morning, everyone. I hope you had a good first day of the conference. Welcome back to day two, where we're going to talk about group health plans for law firms. And obviously, this is something that's really important. Healthcare costs go up all the time. So any options, especially for solo and smalls that are available out there, always good to learn about. Today we have Christine Nadelsky, sorry about that, here to talk to us. She's one of the plan administrators with Professional Insurance Programs of Milwaukee. She will give her presentation. She'll take some questions if you have some. If we run out of time for any reason, she's over across the way in the exhibitor hall. So definitely stop by, ask her any questions you have there, and I will hand it over to Nadine. Also, I just wanted to say, if you do have a question, raise your hand and I'll run over to you with a microphone, just because we are recording the session for replays, and I want to make sure you get your question on there. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Good morning, everybody. Hopefully I see everybody has coffee and eats. That's wonderful. Today, I'm actually going to be talking about how to elevate your firm and discovering the State Bar Wisconsin group health plans for law firms. Again, my name is Christine Nadelsky. Even though he called me Nadine, that's okay. I'm from Professional Insurance Programs, and I am right by the exit door when you first walk in by the State Bar booth. So come and see me afterwards if you have questions that I can't answer right now. So today's agenda, we're actually going to be overviewing the plan types and the common terms that are associated with insurance. We throw them around like the acronyms like crazy. And sometimes you don't realize that people don't understand what we're actually talking about. So I'm going to kind of bring that down to a level where everybody can understand. We'll talk about the plan designs, the benefits of the plans, the value added benefits that are included within the group plan, and how to get a quote, and some of the cost-saving examples and other employee benefits. So some of the, and I'm just going to do it this way, some of the plan types and terms that we need to know. First of all, the copay plan, or a copay, that is actually a plan that has a predetermined rate that helps to pay for health insurance services at the time of care. These plans tend to have a little higher premium than some of the high deductible health plans or HSA plans. They include a primary care provider copay, a specialist copay, and then also any type of drug copay and the different levels. The other term that we want to use is high deductible health plans. Now, we've shortened it down to HDHP. So whenever we're talking about HDHP, this is exactly what we mean. They're HSA eligible plans. As the name suggests, it does have a high deductible that you must meet before the insurance starts paying its portion of the co-insurance. And I'll talk about co-insurance in a minute. So with the high deductible health plan, like I said, you have a set deductible, but you can also put money in a side account called an HSA to help pay for those medical expenses on the coverage, or even on the coverage. So if you don't have dental or vision coverage, you can actually use your HSA funds to pay for those services. Deductible. Now, this is how much you have to pay before your health insurance kicks in at a larger portion of your bills. The deductible, regardless of when your plan renews, your deductible will reset every January 1st. So if you have a renewal date of May, a renewal date of February, January 1st is when your deductible will reset. That's why a lot of businesses actually look for a January 1st effective date, because it coincides with that deductible and it's easy to remember. But you can do a plan at any time, so don't worry about that. Now, co-insurance, as I mentioned before, is a percentage of a medical charge that you pay, with the rest being paid by the health insurance carrier. Typically, it applies to after your deductible has been met. On our plans for the state bar, we have deductibles or, coinsurance of 80% or 100%, meaning that the carrier would be responsible for 80% and 20% of any in-network charges. Now, some of the plan designs that we have actually 12 plan designs. I'll talk about the first 6, which are the copay plans. We started at $750 deductible, and we go all the way up to a $9,200 deductible. These plans still have your copays built in. So your major medical deductible of $9,200, it's going to save you a lot of premium compared to the $750 deductible, but you also have those copays built into the plan, so you don't have to meet that $9,200 right away before the plan starts paying. Most of the time, that's for major medical. So if you have a surgery that you know that's going to be anticipated, and you just want to have a little bit lower rate, some of the copay plans at the higher deductibles might be a better option. The next set of plans are those high deductible health plans, or HDHP plans. Now, they start at a $2,500 deductible and go up to an $8,050 deductible. When I'm talking about deductibles listed here, these are all individual deductibles. If you have a family or 2 or more on your plan, you need to double those. So with the $250 or $2,500 deductible, on the HDHP plans, if you have a family, one insured will have a $2,500 deductible to satisfy and their coinsurance or max out of pocket. The rest of the family would also have a $2,500 deductible combined to satisfy. When we get up to the $5,000 deductible, if it's a family unit, it would be $10,000, and that would be cumulative. So anything above that $2,500 mark is going to be a cumulative family deductible if you have a family unit on the plan. Makes it a lot easier to satisfy those deductibles when everything's going into the same pot. All right, now let's talk about some of the benefits of plan. So, plan selection. You can elect up to 4 different plan options depending on the size of your firm. So if you have 4 individuals who are taking that coverage, and one attorney says, no, I want a high deductible health plan because that's the way to go. I have an HSA, and maybe the paralegal says, well, I can't afford that. I need to have a copay plan. We can do that. We can customize your plan for your firm with 4 different options. And that gives you flexibility when we're looking at your needs of your firm. Employer contribution. This is one thing that really holds employers back sometimes from actually doing a group plan, because on the Affordable Care Act, the employers have to pay at least 50% of the single employee premium. Where employer contributions, we decided with WPS, we're going to eliminate those. If you want to pay for your employees' coverage, fantastic. If you don't want to and still offer a group plan, you can do that. We can take premium, or WPS can take premium out, or you can take premium out, that's what I meant to say, out of the employee's payroll on pre-tax basis with a flexible spending account, Section 125, a premium-only plan. That allows you to deduct premium from your employee's payroll on a pre-tax basis. Otherwise, it will be post-tax, and nobody wants to pay post-tax on insurance premiums. So it gives you more flexibility as the employer to contribute what you would like. If you don't want to do a percentage and maybe you want to do a dollar amount, you can do that as well. You can set all of the attorneys and the partners at one certain dollar amount, break out the other employees at another dollar amount, but it would need to be indicated on the application if you do that. We do suggest at least 50%, Because it is an employee benefit, and the best way to retain individuals is by offering benefits, offering coverage, making sure that your employees are staying healthy, getting those preventative care visits taken care of. Now, full-time employees normally is considered at 30 hours. With our associate or our group health plan, it's 26 hours, or if your employee handbook says 30 or 32, we go by that. But we do drop it down to 26 hours to make it more accessible for some of those individuals who don't quite work 30 hours. And we do find a lot of individuals don't have the 30 hours. So we kind of drop that down and make it a little bit more user-friendly. Continuing on in benefits of the plan, customer resources. WPS has an amazing customer resource online. Whether you're the employer using the employer portal, adding and deleting individuals, retrieving your summary of benefits, looking up information, changing employee demographics. You can do that directly on the employer portal. As an employee, you have limitless access to all of the resources online. You can see all of your claims, how much of your deductible has already been met, your max out of pocket. They have online resource libraries, symptom trackers, you name it. I actually get lost in all of the information that's provided on the website because there's so much. And you know how you go down a tunnel and you keep on going down that rabbit hole. But yes, you can find out all kinds of things, wellness tips, just prescription, which will be the next section we're talking about, different prescription formularies as well. So with the large group state bar program, we actually are under a zero copay on select preventative drugs. This does include it includes generic and some brand name drugs, and this helps to manage chronic illness more effectively. There's the comprehensive list to treat asthma, depression, diabetes, high cholesterol, blood pressure, and like I said, it's generic and brand name, so you're not just limited to those generic formularies. When we talk about preventative services, these are covered at 100%, so you do not have to pay out of pocket for any of these services as long as they're coded as preventative. So WPS will pay benefits for routine immunizations, routine medical exams, including routine diagnostic services, mammograms, well child care, preventative screenings. Now, the one thing I want to point out with routine diagnostic services like colonoscopies, not that you want to hear about colonoscopies while you're eating, but if there's anything that is diagnosed when you have the colonoscopy, your next one will not be preventative, it will be diagnostic. So it will not go to the deductible. So just kind of a key note there, that's for sure. And when we talk about the network, WPS offers a statewide network in all of Wisconsin. It encompasses about 85 to 90% of providers within Wisconsin, all the way from the bottom of the state by Kenosha, Racine, all the way up to Rhinelander, Hayward. You will have the availability to see your providers within that network. Great online access to look up providers as well. If you are traveling anywhere else in the United States, you're going to be using First Health Network. So if you have kids who are out of town, if you're traveling to see mom down in Georgia, or I don't want to say Florida because they've been having a lot of hassles down there with weather, but if you have somebody down there, Alaska, Hawaii, even Puerto Rico, as long as you're seeing a U.S. territory provider, they should be covered underneath the First Health Network. So, all right. I wish I had that when I had my child in school. Oof. All right. So some of the no-cost added values that we have included in the program with the State Bar is the telehealth services from Teladoc. Uh, is there ever a time when you are too sick to get up, go to work, let alone go to the doctor's office and get treatment and sit with everybody else who's in the doctor's office because you know they're sick as well? Why would they be there if they're not? Telehealth medicine allows you to talk to a board certified provider within, I want to say, at least 5 minutes of contacting them. I do leave a message. They call me back right away. You can do a face-to-face. You can just talk to them. You can do it on your computer. You can close your door to your office and have your telehealth visit. It's $10 copay on the copay plan or $65 charge on the HSA. Now, that's a heck of a lot less than actual going in and having a doctor office visit. So, and that will, on the HSA, that will go to your deductible. But you can talk to a board-certified doctor for non-emergencies conditions 24/7, does not matter what time of the day it is, for anything like sinus infections, bronchitis, rashes, the flu, sore throat. I was at a picnic one time with my husband and I had to contact them, and by the time I left, I already had my prescription over at Walgreens and was able to get on my way to healing. The big thing, mental health. Mental health is covered underneath Teladoc as well. Nowadays, mental health is so crucial, and especially in your profession, there's a lot of stress. There's a lot of, I got to go this way, this way, this way. Okay, what time is this deposition? What time is it? Mental health can it can rule your world, unfortunately. Teladoc will actually provide mental health benefits. Again, $10 copay for the visit on a copay plan, or a $99 visit on the HSA. You could have ongoing visits as well if you need more treatment. It's great for individuals, children with ADHD, any type of disability that they need to talk to somebody, and it's all confidential. Dermatology is another new one that they put on there as well. Take a picture of whatever might be ailing you. A lot of times, even the rash, or you have something going on, take a picture, send it to them. They'll be able to try to diagnose that condition as best as they can. And it's great for acne, psoriasis, emphysema, and skin conditions. But it can really save, especially if you might be concerned about a rash or something that you might have on your skin. Seeking treatment is the best way to prevent future happenings. So all you golfers out there, make sure you're getting tested. So we don't want any type of melanoma. All right. Some other no-cost added values. We have a program called Care Program Propeller, which is a pulmonary care program to manage asthma and COPD. It includes a sensor, an inhaler, and an easy mobile app to use. You can verify your propeller inhaler use. You can also track and identify trends and tips to help you breathe better. And encourage compliance as well with reminders to take your medication on time. Provides monthly and summary reports for your treating physician. And if you lose your inhaler, it can help locate it. Diabetes care program called WellDoc also includes a mobile app. It acts as a personal diabetes coach. It connects your fitness trackers and blood glucose monitors, encourages compliance as well with medication reminders. Everything can be connected back to your physician, and then also you can connect data for food, weight, inactivity, blood pressure, sleep, and more. So it's like your own little personal coach. All right. Now, let's go to the next one. A couple more to talk about is your tobacco cessation assistance. This is absolutely free for members 18 or older, and it provides you up to 180 days of assistance annually to help you kick the habit. So it will give you one nicotine replacement, such as the over-the-counter patch, gum, lozenges, and one non-nicotine replacement as well. Most popular probably Chantix. Active and Fit, once you kick that habit, well, why not get back in shape again with some Active and Fit program? That is, there we go. It's a fitness center membership discount to over 12,000 standard centers. And then we also have 5,200 premium fitness centers. So your YMCA, Planet Fitness is going to be like standard. Maybe the WAC is going to be a premium center. It's $28 a month plus a $28 enrollment fee and applicable taxes and fees. And you can transfer your membership from one facility to the other. So if you are on the move and you're over here at Planet Fitness and all of a sudden you're like, well, I think I want to go this year, go right ahead, transfer that on over, and all your benefits will still be there. Okay. Now, absolutely.
That's that page with the tobacco and the active.
Yep.
Is that only if you're a tobacco user, or is that a separate benefit because there's a line?
I guess I don't understand your question.
You only get the no cost added value of the Active and Fit Direct program if you're a tobacco user trying to kick the habit.
It's for everybody, even if you don't go to the gym. Not a problem at all. Great question, though. I know with that line there, it kind of confuses me, some people. Right. No, not at all. So how do you get a quote for that? We do have census forms online on our website. My business cards are at the table as well. You can email me directly. Once we get a filled out census, we'll actually generate your preliminary rates. All groups, because this is under the large group of the state bar, will be underwritten. So we will have to have medically underwritten applications in order to provide you with final rates. Once you get those final rates, though, and if they're not favorable, I'm not saying they won't be, but there are some cases where they aren't favorable. There's no obligation to continue. We can certainly look at something else for you. So you're not tied in when you get final rates. So once we get the applications and the applicable information from you, we'll also ask for a UCT 101 for underwriting purposes. Everything will go to underwriting, and then again, we get your final rates. And once you approve those final rates, then we'll send you over a group application as well. So we have some cost-saving examples for you to go over. I had a group that was looking for a new health plan with their 5 employees. They were actually paying $69,715 annually for their, and the renewal was going up to over $80,000. Through the group health plan for law firms, they were able to get a co-pay plan with a $2,500 deductible for a little over $55,000 annually. Now, that's a pretty good savings when we're looking at budget and we're looking at small firms. $25,000 is nothing to sneeze at, that's for sure. We had another office who was looking to save money with their health insurance for only 3 employees. And it was going up to a little over $22,000 annually from $18,397. They were able to get a $2,500 high deductible health plan with an annual premium of $18,386, which is a little less than what they actually started out with, for a savings of $3,600. And then we also had another firm that was looking for coverage with 3 employees. They had a health insurance in place. They were paying $46,000 annually. Upon the renewal, the premium was increasing to $4,800 $28. They reached out to us and wanted to go through the group association plan, and we were able to get them a $5,000 copay with an annual premium of $36,000. So that's a savings of over $12,000. Now, group size, we can go down to one individual. We do need to have one full-time employee who is actually waiving coverage in order to offer that one-person coverage. So a lot of times we have individuals, but I'm a small firm. My two people, they have coverage with their spouse, but I need it for me and my family. We can do that. That's not a problem. Your rates are actually going to be composite rated. So it takes the census that you provide to us, and it gives us a blended rate of everyone who's on that census. So all of your individual employees, whether they're 26 or 56, they're all going to have the same premium. An employee and spouse or employee and children are considered limited family. And then a two parental unit with any number of children, does not matter, 1 to 20, is going to be a family unit. So you have 3 sets of rates, which are a lot easier to try to figure out than going with the rate sheet. Okay, this plan, age 26, this plan, okay, age 50. It really simplifies it and makes it very nice across the board, especially when you're contributing. Yes.
Additional question with regard to that sheet up there that you were giving examples for. Is that the cost that the employer paid, and were they 50% paying in those examples, or were they all different?
Well, this was actually just the rate. So without any employer contribution put into it. So if the employer were to pay 50%, you obviously want to cut that in half.
Okay, because I was understanding that was the employer side. That's the whole cost of the plan.
Correct.
How you slice it and dice it is up to you. Your recommendation is the 50%.
You got it.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Great question. Yes. Another question.
So should we assume those are apples to apples, like whatever the type of plan before to the current plan that you offered?
Correct. We try to match up as much as possible, as close as possible, to the employer's current plan. Nothing is worse than trying to get a plan in place, and then you have to disrupt the employees with a much higher deductible to try to bring those rates down. So we always try to either come equivalent or better than what they're currently offering. And again, if the employer says, no, I want to offer a certain amount or a certain program, then not a problem. You will get all 12 preliminary rate options. So it's up to you to choose which plans that you want to offer. Great questions, though. Thank you. Ooh, correct. You're absolutely correct. And you know what? I do not remember. The underwriting process, yeah. Oh, sure, not a problem. And you know what? We'll reach out, we'll definitely make sure that we get you those preliminary rates. Not a problem at all. All right. Some of the employee benefits that employers like to offer, providing a comprehensive benefit package is always the best way to retain individuals that you treasure because they know everything in and out. And then for hiring. So we can do dental, vision, disability, life, and flexible spending accounts along other compliance components. It can all be voluntary except for the flexible spending account or contributory. So either employer paid or voluntary. So, oh, there we go. I have them all on there. Sorry about that. And with that, I definitely want to thank you all for your attendance today and your attention. And if you have questions, please stop by the booth and let me know. Yes.
What about pre-existing conditions? With the underwriting, is that where the premiums would change?
That's where the premiums would increase. Now, underwriting cannot decline a group, but they can rate a group high. Certain circumstances, individuals are currently going to cancer treatments, pulmonary issues. It can be a little higher, but we'll definitely kind of pre-run everything through underwriting first before we have to submit everything, if that's what the loan.
And are you underwriting just the employees, or are you asking how many people in your family would want coverage? And then they're underwriting the whole family.
If there's a family unit that actually applies, we would require medical underwriting for everyone. That's a great question.
And when do you do this? Every year, I would assume this would have to be redone. So no, just one time.
One time. Your initial enrollment is when we actually underwrite. Your renewals are going to be based on your group's
Cost that we had.
Yep, you got it.
Okay. And so what you basically have to do is give a packet to each of your employees or something like that, have them fill it all out, whether they want the insurance or not.
Correct.
And then how many months do you get started? If you want coverage to begin on January, what's the ideal time for your company to be able to process this timely and get everything back?
And that's a great question. To get everything kind of smoothly through, I would say start in November. Sometimes the earlier the better, only because that's the busiest time for underwriting.
Yeah.
And that's the busiest time for us as well. So we want to make sure that we're getting everything in order, having it smoothly taken care of, so we can have you with your identification cards on January 1st.
That's when a lot of employers are asking their employees to choose which of the 3 plans they have.
Exactly.
And also when Marketplace opens too. So I can imagine that just makes sense. I just didn't know if you meant you better start in July or, okay. Thank you very much.
Not at all. Sometimes we submit applications for final rates, even the last week of the month before the effective date. Gets a little hairy scary when they're looking for ID cards. But thank you all for your attention, and I hope you have a phenomenal rest of your conference.